Wait, have you seen Presumed Innocent?
What? Have I seen?
You. Hey, you.
Wait, have I seen what?
I can't.
Wait, what did you say?
I can't.
What did you say?
Nothing. Don't ask me. Don't ask
I
me.
couldn't understand what he actually said.
Type in Superman.
Superman?
No, that's not gonna help, right? You're f***ing me here. Do Doctor Doom versus Superman, comic book cover, not Doctor Doom cover.
I mean, who gives a f about like proving it right though? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I do.
How would you find this out? So who told you this?
Who told me what?
Did you read comments to figure this out, or how?
No,
what
Jay
happened?
said we're getting. Did I read comments? No. Jade said we're getting emails. What are you doing?
Yeah.
This is why you're unlikable. Just be you, which I'm
you.
sure sucks.
Be you.
So the fighter and the kid are back from summer break and things are not looking good. The views are continuing to tank, the ad revenue is drying up, and there seems to be tension growing amongst the crew. This is typically what you see in the final days of a show, just before it's cancelled and the excuses start getting thrown around. I mean, things have gotten so bad that Brendan is giving away a truck just to sell a bit of merch. But I'll come back to that towards the end because since they came back from their short break, it's clear that everyone is starting to turn on our boy Bupper. And just in case you missed it, while Brian Callen was holidaying in Turkey and Bupper was in the shop working on his truck, they re-uploaded old episodes of the podcast and called them throwbacks. And there was one comment in particular that caught my attention. These should be called Back When the Podcast Made Money. So being the naturally curious individual that I am, I wanted to figure out how much money Brandon's podcasts are actually making now after years of dropping views. First up is The Fighter and the Kid. Using an industry standard CPM assumption and based off their recent views data, my estimate is that the podcast makes around $200,000 to $300,000 per year. Then there's Brendan's personal channel, Thick Boy, which does a similar amount of views to The Fighter and the Kid, but given that most of those views come from shorts, which barely make any money at all, I'd say that channel struggles to clear $100,000 per year in ad revenue. And of course, there's the Golden Hour podcast, which has the lowest views out of the three channels and probably brings in around $200K per year in ad revenue. So in total, across all three channels, my estimate is that Brendan's content brings in around $500,000 to $700,000 per year at the moment, which would be the lowest it's ever been for him in almost 10 years of podcasting. Throw in a couple of producers' salaries, Callan, D'Elia, and Griffin as well, not to mention all the property and studio costs associated with running several podcasts. Well, you don't have to be a numbers guy to see that something doesn't add up. Meanwhile, Bupper's still burning through cars, his wife's burning through handbags, and the IRS are probably balls deep in the subreddit monitoring their activities. Thank God for Cringe Puppy, huh? But let's put the numbers to the side for now and enjoy some old-fashioned podcast cringe slop. Because if you thought things couldn't get much worse for our boy, then you'd be wrong. You see, when your staff start to smell blood, then you start to lose your authority. And that's exactly what seems to be happening with Bupper's Best and Brightest. So let me give you the background. In their first episode back, they were getting up to speed with the latest entertainment news when Brendan apparently triggered some of his fans by mixing up DC and Marvel.
The coolest thing in one of the current events we have here is Marvel announced the new Doctor Doom is going to be Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, did you see people go crazy?
I was in the room. They went nuts.
Tough one because he was Iron Man.
Yeah. But that's
now
the
you're
whole
like,
multiverse thing, right?
Well, Robert Downey Jr. was also a black guy in Tropic Thunder, and then
Great
also
film.
Iron Man. How do we feel about people going crazy over that announcement?
Come on.
I don't know Doctor Doom. That's
Right.
I don't know either.
I'm familiar
I
with
don't know
Doctor
either.
Doom. Yeah, I know Doctor Doom.
Who was he? He's a villain?
He's a
Yes.
villain, Superman.
Bad guy.
You're familiar?
Yeah, I know comic books, man. I grew up on that shit, but
This guy?
I didn't fucking bust a nut in my pants when Robert Downey Jr. took the mask off. I'm also 40 though, you know?
Yeah, but it's also, he's so good and you know he's going to kill it.
Oh no, he can do no wrong in my book.
So as it turns out, our boy was actually correct. Superman and Doctor Doom did a crossover, which was apparently what he was referring to there. But one thing we know about Brendan is that it doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong. He always seems to fumble the win by going too hard. And it's understandable, right? He's so used to getting ridiculed for being a redact that when he finally gets something right, he doesn't know what to do with it. And you know it's bad when your number one fan, Chin, doesn't understand why you're getting so worked up over it. The next clip from the following episode is so beautiful that I reckon I could personally convince a judge in a copyright lawsuit that it should be considered art and therefore a creative work. And just remember, he didn't bust a nut in his pants over Robert Downey Jr.'s reveal because he's 40 years old, right? He doesn't care about comic books.
Oh, Jay was saying we were getting some emails because we're talking about Dr. Doom, and I was saying how he was with Superman. So Dr. Doom's from Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Superman's from DC.
Yeah.
It was like, one's Marvel, one's DC. Brendan's so wrong. I'm not wrong. I had the comic book as a kid.
Oh, I
if
love
you look
You
it up.
remember these things.
Yeah, it's my memory remembers certain things. The cover of that comic book, I can remember. Type in Superman.
Superman?
No, that's not going to help, right? You're me here. Do Dr.
What are you
Doom
talking
versus Superman. Comic book cover. Not Dr. Doom cover.
With DC and Marvel.
No,
Whatever,
just
dude.
do that. Dr. Doom, Superman. Comic book cover.
Which one?
You see
There
the
it is.
action one?
There it is.
There's a few.
There it is.
There it is. Oh, weird.
And what
Shut
is
up,
that?
nerds.
It's DC, yeah.
Yeah, one's DC, one's Marvel. Shut up, nerds.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
They did a collab together or something?
Yeah, they do collabs with Marvel DC.
Mm-hmm.
They do them every now and then. That was one I remember distinctively. Any other
'cause he's
brain
Fantastic
busters?
Four.
How would you find this out? So who told you this?
Who told me what?
Did you read comments to figure this out, or how?
No,
what
Jay
happened?
said we're getting. Did I read comments? Fuck no. Jade said we're getting emails.
Emails about it.
Yeah. Because they're like, one's Marvel, one's DC. Those don't mix. That never happened. Brent said Superman. Dr. Doom's Marvel. Yeah, dude, had the freaking comic.
Mm-hmm.
I was balls deep in comics as a kid.
Love that.
I loved them. That one's from like 1940.
So you got a hold of that somehow.
I don't think I had. I didn't have the
not very
original.
diverse.
I didn't have the
They're blacks.
original. No. I
All
had the
right.
card or the cover. I remember distinctively that picture, Dr. Doom versus Superman. They did a bunch of them.
I mean, who gives a fuck about like proving it right though? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I do.
Oh, the
I
Marvel,
do.
the
Oh,
Marvel
yeah.
people.
It's a
do.
big thing. Yeah.
The Marvel.
It's like saying
people do.
John Elway played for Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right.
You're open up and up like a Star Wars Marvel thing.
Because it's, hold
Don't
on.
get that wrong.
Yeah.
Hold on, what is this?
Okay, we'll come back to the shark attack in a moment because there was three things going on there. Chin is a useless producer. He's a redacted Googler. The timestamps are always wrong, including in this latest episode. He still hasn't fixed them yet, and he talks too much. But all those things aside, even though Brenda was right, Chin is finally starting to realize how much of a child he was being by insisting he correct the record and let everyone know that he's a beast when it comes to comic books. And who is Bappa kidding? He 100% read the comments on that episode. There were no emails, bro. And just so we can appreciate how low the collective IQ of everyone sitting in that studio is, let's get back to this shark story.
Oh yeah, this was a good one. Great white shark, Australian surfer, leg goes bye-bye.
Wait a minute. When did this happen?
10-footer,
When did this happen?
July 31st, published.
Horrible moment. Surfer is mauled by a great white shark that bit off. Is it in
I didn't
California?
see this.
No, Australia.
Oh wow.
No,
South
it's,
Wales.
Yeah,
Oh,
South
no.
Wales.
Oh, it's in Wales, sorry.
Dude, let me see this.
So firstly, Snaz points out that some Australian guy got bitten by a great white shark while surfing. Bappa then says, "Is this in California?" She corrects him and says, "No, it's in Australia." Then Chin and Callan jump in and say it's in South Wales. And so they all thought that there was a horrific shark attack over in the United Kingdom. Except New South Wales is actually a state in Australia on the east coast, so Snuz was right in the first place. But hey, maybe that isn't common knowledge. However, for a guy like Brenda, who was formerly an internationally recognised stand-up comedian who toured globally before his untimely retirement at the beginning of this year, you'd think he'd at least know the difference between two places on opposite sides of the planet. But thank God for Brian Callan's super smart nephews.
Talking about smoking cigars. my
Are
new
you a
thing.
cigar man now?
Well, if I don't say no anymore because I enjoy, it gives me some energy. There's something about it. That
Cigars
gets
are like a
me going.
manly, mature thing to do.
Yeah. I was just with my nephews who I love. My two nephews now that are grown men. They're the best.
How old are they?
23 and 27.
Okay, a little young for cigars.
But just smart and just they get it. My nephew impressed the fuck out of me. He's a huge UFC fan. So we go, I don't know if I told you this, but we go Rogan puts us on the floor. We're watching the fights.
Okay, let me just jump in for a moment to give you the context so you can fully appreciate the cringe that's about to unfold before your eyes. Recently, the boys celebrated episode 1000 of The Fighter and the Kid, which I covered in great detail right here on this channel. However, there was one part that I left out about why Rogan has never been on the show.
The last two are questions that I just got from so many people that we're going to generalize them. The first one is, why has Joe never been on the show?
Good question.
He's been on. He called in when we were at Fox.
He's never been on the show.
He called in.
Yeah.
As far as in person,
Actually,
never.
the podcast where he told you to stop fighting was actually our podcast.
That's a Fighter and the Kid, but it was at Joe Rogan's studio, so I wouldn't say he's on the show. He's always been the most famous guy in the room, so I just don't feel comfortable asking for anything. We've never asked him to be on the show.
Everybody asks Joe.
Yeah.
We're his friends.
It makes me feel
so I don't
weird.
want to be the one to ask him
Never.
for anything.
Never.
Like, he gets asked for everything. Even when I called him and I want to bring my nephew to the fight, to the Conor McGregor, Chandler fight. But other than that, I don't even ask him for that.
See, well, you did ask him for that.
No,
right?
I asked him that, but
Yeah,
I'm
see,
saying,
I wouldn't even ask him for that. I would rather pay and not ask him.
yes.
I would have paid, and he'd be like, "You're here." I'm like, "Yeah." Should ask him. Like, it's just not. I don't feel comfortable doing it. Like,
Okay, so this is a super sensitive issue for our boy Bubba. You see, along with being banned from Rogan's comedy mothership, Brenda's also banned from attending UFC events by Dana White due to his redacted takes on anything to do with the UFC. Basically, Ariel Helwani is higher on the list of people to get free tickets from Dana than Brendan Schaub is. So when Callan went on to tell the story about his experience at the UFC recently with his nephew and Joe Rogan, it hit Brendan on multiple levels.
So we go, I don't know if I told you this, but we go, Rogan puts us on the floor. We're watching the fights.
you want
all
to retell
good.
the story?
Well, we're on the floor. We're just not behind him.
You weren't cage side.
We're not cage side.
You're behind the fighters. Yeah, go ahead. But I don't want to. I just wanted it all to be correct.
Still on the floor, though.
You can't see it on TV. Yeah, it's not a big deal, dude.
It's actually a little bit more. You got to give me
about 15 rows back.
about 6 rows back.
A little more than that, bud.
No, 6 rows.
No, we can
back.
see 6 rows on TV.
No, 6 rows back.
No, it wasn't.
About 6 rows
I know
back.
exactly where you're at. You're behind the fighters.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
about 6 rows.
No,
Yeah,
no.
roughly 6 rows.
It's all good, dude. It doesn't mean that
Hey,
you're
you're
not
interrupting my story with details.
It doesn't mean you're not as famous as Jelly Roll, who they put in the front, or Tony Hinchcliffe.
They
dude.
got my seats.
I just want to be very spot on it.
So I appreciate that. Rogan texts me and says we're eating at such and such. Gives me the coordinates. Basically come
Tells
by.
you the restaurant.
Yeah, come by and have
come eat
dinner
with us.
And I say to my nephew, I go, it's late, but I'll go for you because you get to meet probably Hinchcliffe. He's a huge Kill Tony fan. You probably meet Jelly Roll. I don't know who's there.
Most 24-year-olds would jump in front of a train to have that dinner. Yeah.
He just goes, dude, I'm not going to show up as your plus one and just be that young guy because it's going to be work for them because now they have to acknowledge me and talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just an interruption into the flow. And I went, this fucking kid
Gets it.
He gets it. He just gets it.
It's a huge opportunity, but yeah.
He just got a really amazing job, by the way, like an amazing job.
Awesome.
And there's a reason he got that amazing job.
Yeah,
It's that,
he can read the
that
room,
social
yeah.
intelligence. He reads the room.
Yeah.
By the way, tell me how rare that is. A lot of people can't read a fucking room.
Oof.
Right?
No.
And this kid can read a room. He can read a room. You
smart
read a
kid.
room, I read a room, read a room. We go in, we see a situation. We can be put in a situation and we come out of that situation. You throw us in a room. We're not talking to each other. We come out with the exact same conclusions.
Every time, usually.
Right away. And we were in a couple situations where everything was amazing. Like it was like, wow, you're in this situation which couldn't be cooler and everybody would want to be there. And these people are amazing. And both of us come out and go like this. Not good people.
Yeah.
And you're like, there it is.
We were at that one dinner that one time. You could tell I was kind of zoned out. And
Oh,
you're like,
dude.
you're not buying it. Huh? I went, I just don't care,
I remember
dude.
that so well.
Holy shit, where do I even start? Brendan and Brian calling themselves room readers has to be the funniest thing I've ever heard them agree on. Brendan's too busy reading the comments to worry about reading the room. In fact, the defining feature of Brendan Schaub's whole career is that he continuously fails to read the room. Think back to how they attacked Bobby Lee and Kalila because somebody duped them into thinking they were behind a lot of the hate on Reddit. And after all of the drama, it turned out that Brenda was just butthurt that Kalila's friends outed him on Trash Tuesday for asking a chig to walk him to his truck. Or the time that he sued a YouTuber for making videos about him and then 2 years later pretended he knew nothing about it after he lost in court and then filed an appeal a few weeks later. Nobody is worse at reading a room than Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen. I mean, the irony of bragging about how good they are at reading rooms on a podcast that should have been cancelled 3 years ago. Seriously, what are we doing here, B? But it gets worse. After Callen told his UFC room reading story, Bappa wanted to get in on the action, so he told one of the most random stories I've ever heard. And at first, I had no idea why in the fuck he was telling us this story, but then as he got towards the end, it all made sense. See if you can spot it too.
I had a day yesterday, and then I brought Bossy to the studio, right? So he's here with me all day. And then I did some work to my lighting. I was eating Flamin' Hot Cheetos and rubbed my eyes, so that's cool. So I was leaving here, and the fuel lines on my truck just blew up before I'm getting on the highway. So I called Joe, called my girl. I'm like, hey, you gotta pick Bossy up. I'm on the side of the road. It's dangerous for him. Get him out of here, and then I'll deal with getting the truck, back to the shop. In the middle of the afternoon, it's
3 hours.
It's 100 degrees out here.
3 hours.
And I'm in jeans, and there's no shade. And I'm so frustrated. I'm just sitting there in silence, so frustrated. I didn't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
The tow truck guy comes from AAA, young Mexican cat. We get in, we're kind of shooting the shit. There's rush hour traffic. You can tell he's just like, oh man. He's not a car guy. He's like, oh yeah, he'll figure it out, man. Don't worry. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then there's like that awkward silence. I went, how long you been doing it? He's all, this? In 3 years. And I'm always interested, like, the pay structure. And I go, how do they do it? Like, even Ubers, I always ask him, like, how's it pay? Like, what do you think of it? So with him, and it's not that I need exact numbers. I was like, how they do it? Does AAA, like, they give you the truck, and then they pay you a salary? And he's like, so I do all of Southern Cali, right? Like, I go all over. And I was like, oh, like 9 to 5? He's like, nah, man. I try to work 12 to 14-hour days. Monday through Saturday. I wish I could work Sunday. I was like, God damn, dude. And remember, I was complaining about my truck. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, yeah, I wish I could work Sunday. And he's like, the big thing is tips too. Like, we get tips, man. It really helps us out. But he's like, maybe it's just the economy. People aren't tipping anymore.
They don't have cash.
It wasn't like he was giving me a sob story to give him a tip. He was just, yeah, it's because you want to do hours. I wish you could work more. He goes, I'd work Sunday if I could, man. I'd work 24 hours. I was like, oh, hustling, man. And he looked young. I was like, oh, just hustling, trying to make that bread, huh? He's like, nah, I got 4 kids, man. One of my kids is autistic. I was like, how old? 8, Tiger's age. I was like,
oh, he's getting to you now.
When he dropped me off at the house, because I have him take the house, I don't have the shop come get it. Drop me off at the house. I literally, and I never have cash for whatever reason. I had this cat. Oh, because Tiger's baseball team went bowling, and I covered it for all the dads, and so they gave me a bunch of cash. I had a fucking stack in my pocket.
And you gave it to him.
He started crying.
He did?
Yep.
So cool.
Yep. So
I would have loved some of that cash.
I gave it away.
All of it?
You want me to call him and ask for it back?
A little bit.
Half of it.
Just half.
So Brendan told that whole ass story just to let everybody know that he's a baseball dad. Like, bro, we get it. You quit stand-up comedy to become a beast of a dad. And don't forget, he's always asking questions about business because he's a business shark.
I'm a shark when it comes to business.
And I called this out a couple of weeks ago when I started noticing that Brenda will find any excuse to randomly bring up being a baseball dad. Turns out I was right. Brian was telling everyone about an upcoming comedy gig and asking for advice on whether to drive or fly.
If you left at 4, it would take you 4.5 hours. And I've done that drive. Because I had no choice. I had to get back for Tiger's game. It took me 4.5 hours.
So the move is to
with
take...
no AC.
It's probably a 30-minute flight, really.
Geez, he's almost as bad as those vegans and Tesla drivers he's always bagging. We get it, dude. You're a beast of a dad. Unfortunately, he's not a beast when it comes to TV shows. This seriously has to be one of the worst takes I've ever heard come out of Brenda's bloated lips.
Wait, have you seen Presumed Innocent?
What? Have I seen...
You. Hey, you.
Wait, have I seen what?
I can't.
Wait, what did you say?
I can't.
What did you say?
Nothing. Nothing. Don't ask me. Don't ask
I
me.
couldn't understand what he actually said.
Presumed
Said you haven't
innocent.
seen Presumed Innocent.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah, Presumed Innocent.
What about it?
That's an old movie though. That's from.
With Harrison Ford, right?
Yeah. Is that the remake?
I can't. What else you got, Chad? TV
With
series,
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, it's TV series.
Look at me right now.
We have here.
Best show you ever see.
What?
Yeah, you like Breaking Bad, right? And all that
Yeah.
bullshit, right? Sopranos is good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it crushes all that.
What?
Yeah, best show you see all year.
What?
Easily.
Presumed Innocent.
Yeah. Oh, you saw the movie, so you know how it ends? Okay. I can't.
Okay, let me get this straight. Brendan thinks that an 8-part limited series on Apple TV that was based off a 1990 film starring Harrison Ford, which was based off a 1987 novel, is better than Breaking Bad and The Sopranos, arguably 2 of the top 10 TV shows in history. Don't get me wrong, I love a good courtroom drama as much as the next guy, and Jake Gyllenhaal's an awesome actor when he's not pretending to be a UFC fighter turned nightclub bouncer, but fuck me dead, Bupper's CTE is out of control on that one. And speaking of CTE, let's finish off with Brendan's last-ditch effort to sell merch and make a few dollars to cover all of his bills. The countdown to the Trug giveaway is getting closer and closer, with only 3.5 weeks left to enter. You see, Brendan started a new YouTube channel last year called Toontown, which ended up dying in the arse after a few videos. In fact, the most viewed video on that channel by far is the one of him flipping his trug in the middle of nowhere. And so after only a few videos, Bupper decided it was time for a rebrand. Some have speculated that Disney finally noticed he was using their trademark and sent him a seasoned assist. But others, including myself, think that it's yet another attempt to refresh his brand and start the fire again.
You know, I'm a shark when it comes to business.
So now his trug channel is called Drive Fast or Gas, which stands for, oh, never mind. And so what better way to launch his new brand than to give away a beast of a trug? All you have to do is go to drivefastorgas.com and purchase as much merch as you can to maximize your chances of winning. Or you could just read the official rules where it says no purchase necessary to enter or win. So you could just send Bupper a handwritten letter or send him a text message or an email. Either way, this looks dodgy as fuck. And as I said at the beginning of this video, I just don't understand how the numbers are still adding up. I mean, even if the giveaway is sponsored by a bunch of off-road advertisers and he's earning revenue from all the ad reads across his podcast network, he simply doesn't have the views to get them a return on their spending. So either he...
You know, the thing to do is it's to make it somebody else's responsibility.
Telling somebody to do something feels so uncomfortable.
What?
Yeah, I know. You guys don't have to laugh. Do you pay them to?
Well, they laugh when they want.
You like telling people what to do.
Okay, there you go. So like I'll have like 3 pieces of salmon or sea bass.
Jesus.
Sometimes like sirloin, but a lot of seafood.
And now, do you cook it yourself, or do you have like somebody to help organize? Yeah, sorry, I forgot how well this podcast
Who are you
does.
talking to?
Sorry.
So
When it comes to the elite group of just 250 comedians who are carrying the torch of free speech and saving us from our boring, meaningless existence, nobody's quite had the glow-up of Tom Segura. Starting out as an extraordinarily well-fed investment banker's son, Tom has undergone a complete transformation in the space of less than a few years, due in part to his epic battle with the hardwood flooring in a gym. After dropping a bunch of weight, purchasing several exotic vehicles, and building a luxury watch collection worth more than most of our houses, Tom now maintains the physique of a fit 65-year-old at the age of 45. But it hasn't been smooth sailing for our boy Tommy. As most of you will know, he caught a ton of heat last year after several slip-ups which revealed his true feelings towards his fans and just poor people in general. Not to mention anyone who works in an airport or a hotel or a restaurant. Look, basically just anyone who actually works for a living. And so when he had Matt Rife on the YMH podcast last week, they discussed their full grooming routines, their latest diets, workout programs, staffing issues, and all of their struggles when living on the road. You know, just the normal sort of conversation we've come to expect from 2 of the top 250 comedians in the world. So I'm going to take you through all the cringiest bits, and hopefully we can try to make comedy podcasts funny again. If you haven't heard, Matt Rife's latest comedy special just dropped on Netflix, which is their first full crowd work special. I covered it in my most recent Patreon video where I dug through all of Matt's most recent podcast appearances to show you the dark side of being super famous. It's actually pretty crazy how bad things have gotten for him, so go and check that out in the link in the description if you want to see that video. It's also a great way to support the channel over on Patreon, but basically the theme of his crowd work special was the things that we dream about. And so when he was discussing it at the beginning of the YMH podcast, Tom shared a recent dream of his own that confirms something a lot of us have been suspicious about for over a year now.
I had wild dreams last week. I remember that.
What about?
Dude, one was that my trainer was like, I got to jerk you off. And I was like, what? And he was insisting on, I haven't told him yet, but
Is that a text or are you going to tell him in person?
I'm going to tell him in person.
While he's stretching you out?
I want to see his face. Yeah. And he's like, it's going to help. And I was like, and I gave in. I let him, but it was.
Okay, ended well at least.
Yeah, it was.
How often do you work out now?
Almost every day, like 5 to 6 days a week. Yeah.
Dude, good for you. Guys.
Yeah.
So we first came to learn of Tom's special relationship with his trainer in a documentary Tom made about himself last year, which included full action shots and special interviews with the trainer in a documentary about his comedy tour.
I started touring with Tom back on the Ball Hog tour. When we were training together, he thought it would be a good idea, to go out like the last quarter of the tour and, train him while he was on the road.
But the best bit for me was during the candid sit-down interview where his trainer broke down in tears and had to step out of the interview before he started sobbing uncontrollably.
Working with Tom is, you really can't ask for anything better. I can't, man. It's... Fuck, dude.
Now, I've seen Tom and Bert do some weird shit over the years, but that has to be in the top 5 cringiest moments caught on video. Right up there with Bert telling 2 kids in Target that he's a comedian, not a YouTuber, and then proceeding to draw a blank when they asked him to tell a joke. But it sounds to me like maybe Tommy's mistaking reality for a dream. I could totally see his trainer changing up Tommy's program to include a hard finisher, just to make sure he got everything out of him. And so the whole trainer discussion with Matt Rife conveniently led into a discussion about Tom's new nutritionist, which then led to the revelation that Tom has a full-time private chef. We'll get to that in a moment though, because our boy Bert ended up catching a few strays when they were talking about their body fat percentages. And as you're watching this, I just want you to remember that you are watching 2 of the 250 best comedians in the world talking freely on a podcast with no restrictions or limitations on the topics they're allowed to discuss. This is just pure, unadulterated, elite comedy talk from 2 of the best at the top of their game. Thank 'em, B.
I got with this nutritionist who was like, your scale numbers are just nonsense. It's about body fat. So I'm down 7% body fat in 6 weeks.
Yeah. What is your body fat percentage?
Right now? It's 18.
That's not bad.
It's not horrible.
How are you, 40?
45.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. It's really good then.
Right now I'm trying to get to 15. And, then you I think you just evaluate everywhere you're at.
I think if I got to 15, I'd lose all my fans.
They would hate you so much.
Yeah, I think so.
What are you at? You have to be like, what, 10?
I think I'm like 9.
It's pretty low.
Yeah, no.
No, I would be catatonic if I got to 9. But
what's Bert, you think?
Bert, probably like 45, something like that.
That's not great. That's not great.
No, he has wild ranges too. Like I have too, but I think he's like, he probably has a decent amount of lean mass. I think his visceral fat that's like kind of morphing its way into his organs. I would say he's probably in the mid to
you can Google this?
I don't think he's not 40.
I mean, look at the picture scale though.
He looks like the worst picture, but I think that I think he's probably closer to 30. I think he's close to 30.
I don't think so. I don't think he has those hips.
No?
No, it evens out.
He does look like the far right, whatever that is. But he doesn't
Conservative.
he looks like it when he at his profile. At his profile, he looks like a trans man having triplets. But straight on, he's got good shoulders and stuff. He's been
to compliment shoulders alone is not a really.
It's his
compliment.
favorite thing to talk about. It's his only thing he talks about is his shoulder. He's like, I have great shoulder. I don't know, dude.
Okay.
He's a crazy person. And this is like when you go like, I have legit the best shoulders.
I do. Hold on, I do. I have legit great shoulders. Like great shoulders.
Yeah. No, you don't.
Joe, they're ripping through this shirt right now.
Yeah, but you say things
just
and you
bought
don't
a
really
boy's
mean
shirt.
it, right?
See, to the untrained pedestrian brain watching that clip there, you would think that Bert would be upset that Tommy and Matt were talking about how fat he is behind his back and laughing at the misfortune of his ailing health. But for a seasoned comedy brain assassin like Bert Kreischer, it's all part of his plan to be the center of attention, even when he's not on the podcast himself. It's truly genius when you think about it. Anyway, let's get back to Tom's new diet and workout routine, because when it comes to health and fitness, Tom Segura's name is at the top of the list of influencers we should be listening to for advice, even if you're broke and you can't afford a full-time personal chef.
Okay, and what helps you the most? Are you big on cardio, or is it mainly diet for you?
Well, the shift has been the combination. Like I was working out the past few months too, but I wasn't focused on diet. So what I did was I got this nutritionist that gave me like a structured. I like structure. I like this is breakfast, this is your snack, this is lunch, this is dinner. So I follow what he says to a T, and then all we did was we dialed up workouts a little bit. My cardio sessions went from 45 to 60. So 60 minutes on like a Peloton bike or like rucking or whatever. And then my weightlifting sessions, pretty much the same, went from like 45 to 60. And then, dude, here's the thing that I didn't expect is that doing this clean eating, it has completely changed my digestion.
Really?
I was about to go to a gastroenterologist. I'm not kidding. Like a month ago.
That bad?
Yeah, I was like, how come I always have explosive like shit, so I need to go to the doctor? And I started following this guy's meal. I go, dude, if I don't lose a pound, I already thank you for changing my digestion. Like it's completely fixed.
It was that bad?
Yeah.
I'm not a big shitter, dude. I'm really not.
Here's the thing that I realized. It's like, if I have anything like greasy, fatty, it's like, it's game over for me.
So no burgers?
I mean, no, I don't really eat a lot of burgers, no. It's like, I need to have like lean meats. And I need to have, I don't have dairy. I just have like...
No dairy, no burgers.
But I still eat a ton of protein. Like I'm having 16 to 20 ounces of lean meat at dinner. So like I'll have like 3 pieces of salmon or sea bass.
Jesus.
Sometimes like sirloin, but a lot of seafood.
And now, do you cook it yourself, or do you have like somebody to help organize? Yeah, sorry, I forgot how well this podcast does. Sorry.
So no, but I mean, I'll make some stuff. What? I make eggs in the morning. But yeah, I just eat that. Here's the thing: I feel satiated. I never feel bloated anymore. I never feel like I'm sick, and I don't feel like, oh my God, are my intestines melting? Like, do I have, like is my stomach falling up? All that is just from eating clean.
Wow, who knew the solution to Tom's bloating was only a couple of $100s a day in fresh meat and seafood, cooked to perfection by the help. And as the podcast went on, the topics became more and more relatable. If you didn't know what a writer was, it's basically all the shit that an entertainer requires the event organizers to provide for them in their dressing room. For example, it could include food, drinks, various snacks, maybe a special pillow or some pills to help them sleep. Every rider is unique to the entertainer, so no two riders are the same.
My rider's like Uncrustables and like a fruit plate. Yeah.
Yeah, but at 45, it'll be different.
Fuck, but that's so far away.
Yeah.
I think that's 17 years away.
Okay, just relax.
Damn.
Some of the times you show up to a green room and it's your rider and you're like, what is this shit? And they're like, it's your rider. You're like,
yeah.
And you're not touching any of it.
Most of my rider was like, I was getting stuff like for my girlfriend whenever she would come on tour and stuff. None of it was for me. My boys want something. Yeah, I've got the Uncrustables, like the only thing I touch on my entire rider.
That's a Bert like staple.
Is it really?
Yeah.
You know they have protein ones now.
Really?
Yeah. There's are you able to look that up? There's like a protein Uncrustable. There's like peanut butter and honey ones. It's really good.
What's his big revelation was like, you can toast them or microwave. I'm like,
Wait, can you really?
Yeah, he's like, that's the move. And then he's like, you got to, it's like you put him in the microwave for like, he said something like 7 seconds, right? And then he's like, it will burn your mouth. So you got to like, you pierce it so that the steam leaves. Yeah.
Man, Bert killed it in this episode. That's the second time they talked about him, and he's not even in the room. You know, sometimes when Bert's not around, I think to myself, fuck, I wish Bert was here. You know, just to rock up with some champagne or porosos and tell us the machine story. Man, that hits hard. But the whole writer thing is fascinating to me, and it's not because I give a fuck about what the elite 250 like to snack on before and after they murder pedestrian brain civilians on stage. It's more the fact that they're also interested in what everyone else gets in their writer.
What is your one bougie thing? What is your one thing that it's like?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah,
for
I'm
you.
a little bit like, I wouldn't want people to know. I'm a little bit
I don't care
embarrassed.
if they know. I have first class flights.
Have to do first class, so you can read your Steinbeck. I was really impressed with that.
Shut up.
Is there anything you're like, ugh, I didn't know that I was this guy, and then you experience it and you're like, now I kind of have to be this guy?
No.
Really?
All right, so what do you demand right now?
Nothing.
You have a writer?
No.
Any snack? Any snack?
I can't
Nothing?
figure you
In
out.
my green room, I get fruit and hummus.
Hummus is good.
And
Solid.
Bud Light and White Claws.
Solid.
But that was just my manager came up with that.
I cannot figure it out. I can't figure you out.
Why?
That is a writer, but he's saying he didn't come up
I
with
didn't
it.
do that. She just did it.
She knows. But it's a nice luxury.
Yeah.
So what are you ordering for dinner?
That's what I'm saying. It's like that is crazy. What's going on here?
What are we talking about?
Nothing.
There's got to be one. You got some money.
no,
There's
no.
got to be a thing.
It's
Nothing?
he's embarrassed to be remotely demanding.
I would never be demanding.
See?
Out of shame.
Ever.
Honestly, watching Andy and the Toy Story boys stumble over themselves trying to figure out why Shane Gillis is just a normal dude doing his thing is basically like a free therapy session for me. Every time I play that clip, I feel a little bit better inside and more normal than the last time. And that's one of the biggest problems with these guys. We've never had this much exposure to comedians before, and because their podcasts have all jumped the shark and run their course, they just sit around having private conversations on camera these days because apparently the most interesting things to talk about on a podcast are the intricacies of their digestive systems and bowel movements. But we all know Tom Segura's a bit of a business shark. I mean, he wouldn't have been able to build a podcast network with all the necessary business skills he acquired on the way to reaching the top 250. And so when it comes to delegating responsibility, nobody quite does it like Tom Segura.
Wait, so what's your routine like? Do you eat very clean?
I don't eat enough. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I'm not a big food guy. I have like time, 2 meals a day. That's really all I have time for. The rest is like I'll snack when I can, I suppose. I should be eating like, no. I'll have like a protein bar, I suppose. Uncrustables.
Yeah.
It's never anything like good for me, I suppose.
You can set it up, where like food is brought to you, like when you're on tour, especially, like.
I mean, we get the meal before, and then we usually get like burgers after or something, but it's not as.
Yeah, but you're also
set up as yours.
28.
I know, but I wish I could get myself into a routine.
You can, though.
Like, I know.
You know
it's
what
just
the
hard.
the thing to do is it's to make it somebody else's responsibility. So
Yeah.
you say like, this is what I have to do, and then it becomes like whoever on your team's thing of like, this has to be wherever we're going.
You have an
Just to-
assistant, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I should probably get an assistant.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, then they would just show up. Here you go. It's lunch. You have to eat this,
Damn, that's a good point. Yeah, you can just schedule it out. I need to eat
schedule
at
it.
11:30, 2:30,
You schedule it.
5:30, and
Yeah.
7:30. Interesting.
Here you go all day.
Yeah,
Food
it's
all
somebody
day.
else's job.
Yeah.
Damn, it's a really good idea.
Yeah, you should do that.
I don't know. I feel f***ing weird hiring people.
Here's the thing.
It's so hard.
Really?
It's so uncomfortable.
To hire someone?
Yeah.
How come?
I don't know. Just telling somebody to do something feels so uncomfortable.
What?
Yeah, I know. You guys don't have to laugh. Do you pay them to?
Well, they laugh when they want. What's so fucking funny? Go
You
ahead.
guys are cute. Can I have one of them?
No.
Which
Why?
one?
Why was that funny? What's so funny?
You like telling people what to do.
Okay, there you go.
I want him.
He's awesome.
I can't do it, dude.
Really?
I employ my friends, which is like the coolest thing about success to me. But even that's like, they'll offer to help out with like fucking carrying a suitcase or something, and I'm like, no. Like,
here's how
it's
it's going to change for you.
You think so?
Yes. After a while, it'll change because you'll want better work.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, you'll want actual results, so you'll tell your friends to get other jobs, and then you'll hire other people.
No, they're super talented. I love employing my friends. I love it. I love it. I love it.
He's just saying that to be nice. You guys are fucking mediocre at best.
No, they're fantastic, and they listen to me. And I feel like if I ask somebody to do something for me, it's gonna get thrown back in my face. Or if somebody, not even if I ask, if they just do something for me.
Yeah, but this is part of life.
I mean, just when like I'm carrying bags and shit out of the green room back to the tour bus or something, he's like, "Let me carry that." I'm like, "I can carry it. Don't worry."
Nah, let him carry it.
I should let him. I have a hard time doing it though.
He wants to.
I don't know. I feel like less of a man having another man carry my shit.
That's his job. And carry the bag. Open the door too.
Yeah, there's not much security risk. I suppose you're right.
It's fine.
Okay, so here's the thing. That seems like an entirely normal conversation for Tom and Matt to be having in private. Like, why the fuck are they spending half the podcast talking about their diets, exercise, their staffing requirements, their riders, etc., etc., and then we have 3 producers sitting there in the booth Googling Bert's favorite Uncrustables and laughing at all of Tom's jokes. The guy has gone so far off the deep end that he can't be saved at this point. Tom totally exemplifies how money can make you healthy, make it somebody else's responsibility. I finally understand the feeling men have when they don't want to listen to women talking about women stuff. There's nothing I want to sit through less than these two talking about their diets, clean eating, weight loss, body fat, and body hair. And they say women comedians aren't funny. I remember when the YMH podcast was fucking wild with the most unhinged clips and crazy conversations. Now they're talking about clean eating and gut health. Oh, what are we doing here, B? I personally blame Joe Rogan for this, but I hope Matt Rife can break through the chaos and find his place. I discussed this in more detail over on Patreon, and I've actually changed my tune on him over the last year or so. He's in a really bad place at the moment, which is something he's been openly discussing on all of his recent podcast appearances, so hopefully he can take a step back before he does too much damage to himself and ends up ruining his life. Even though I don't really enjoy his style of comedy that much, he's definitely carving himself out a piece of the comedy pie, and even though he's kissed the Austin comedy ring, he's basically doing it on his own through social media and targeted media campaigns. So as long as he doesn't start a podcast, his own brand of vodka, and start shilling for big tobacco, he might just break through all the bullshit and become one of the biggest names in comedy. Anyway, don't forget to check out the link in the description to my Patreon if you're interested in my longer form uncensored content. I made a 2-part series recently on the Kill Tony MSG shows for you guys, as well as other bits and pieces, so it's a great way to support the channel if you enjoy my content. Go and check that out if you're interested. Also, if you're not a regular here on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and make sure you give me a thumbs up if you ended up liking this video. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.
I've waxed it before.
How bad does that hurt?
Not bad at all.
Not that bad?
No.
Now, do you go to a place to do it, or you just lay some duct tape back there?
I've gone to a place to do it. I only did it because I was like, man, there's so much hair. Just do it. And then the great thing was, you wipe, and it's like you're wiping like a normal person because you're like, there's no hair back there.
Like my arms are like super fine, like blonde.
Wait, do you
hair,
have?
really.
Do you have back hair if you don't trim?
Not really.
Not really.
Nah.
You're kind of hairless.
Kind of. I get it on my chest, but it looks ridiculous.
Do you trim it then?
Yeah, I'll trim it.
Wait, you get like little hairs?
No, I'll get like the full chest. I'm starting to get my stomach a little bit.
Why does it look ridiculous?
I don't know. I just look like a boy who's been through a lot. It just doesn't look natural whatsoever.
That's hilarious.
Also, like I work on my body. Like I don't want it to be hidden by hair.
Yeah, hair.
You know what I mean?
Go.
The Bears are back after spending several weeks apart, and what better way to rejuvenate the podcast than with one of their biggest guests ever, Hollywood actor Matt McConaughey, except despite having Hollywood royalty in the cave, all the attention was focused on Tom's face, which was almost unrecognizable. This is the third iteration of Tom Segura we've seen. After free-falling into the clutches of a timber floor, Tom refreshed his look with diet and exercise, and according to Bert Kreischer, a shitload of Ozempic. This gave us Tom the fit old man, but now Tom thought he could fool us yet again by altering his physical appearance, hoping that we'd all forget how much of an insufferable douchebag he's become after getting stupidly rich. Almost all of the top comments on this episode were about Tom's latest unmasking. Tom without the beard looks like a baby who grew up fast. Damn it, Christina gave Tom cancer. I knew they should have slept in separate beds. Tom going full Dallas Buyers Club for this guest. I feel like one of those babies who's scared of dad now that he's shaved. So I think Tom finally got sick and tired of people like me pointing out that he's only 45 years old in every single video that I mention him in, and he decided it was time to do something about it by shaving his face. Except now he looks like an 80-year-old burn victim who just got surgery. However, something else happened in this episode that, in my opinion, is far more dangerous than Tom holding a razor. And I'm not going to lie, guys, I'm actually worried for Tom's life now. Yeah, you guys think I'm kidding. When you're a top 250 comedian battling in the trenches of free speech, fighting day and night for the liberties that we civilians take for granted, there's only one rule you have to live by. You've got to bend the knee and kiss Papa Rogan's ring. This, we know, this is common knowledge. But what started with a simple exercise in facial grooming has turned into a full-blown assault on the comedy mothership. Tom Segura has gone rogue. And I'm not going to pretend like I saw this coming, but in hindsight, there were definitely signs. See, Tom's always been in it for himself. First he turned on his fans, then he turned on anyone who works for a living, and now he's turning on his own comedy elite assassins. This is not gonna end well. And here I was thinking that we'd return to some semblance of normalcy after Rogan ended his hot streak of podcast guests with yet another comedian that no one's ever heard of, fresh from the comedy mothership green room, but instead, Tom woke up 3 months ago and chose violence when they banked this episode of Two Bears, One Cave. So stick around, I'm going to take you through exactly what happened and how Tom called out Rogan's circle jerk of dorky comedians, and I've also put together a little cringe compilation of Bert saying something funny, but then taking it way too far and embarrassing himself. But remember to check out the link in the description to my Patreon for all my uncensored, longer form content covering Kill Tony, Joe Rogan, and all the latest lawsuits involving the usual suspects. And if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed right here on YouTube so you don't miss out on any of my uploads. Also, just quickly, I've already put a call out on Patreon for anyone interested, but if you're a graphic designer or digital artist who's interested in collabing with me on merch, drop me an email with some of your latest designs and we can get the ball rolling and have a bit of fun at the expense of some of the clowns I cover on this channel. Thank him, B. Now let's get back to Tom's fatal slip-up on the latest Two Bears episode. It all started with an innocuous question about how Matt prepares to play the cool guy in all his movies, which I thought was actually a pretty good question.
This is something I want to ask about cool, though, because there's a funny thing about when you watch a movie where the guy's cool.
Yeah.
Like when you get a cool role. Because I think, like I was watching Daniel Craig, right? And he was in like a Knives Out thing where he gets to, it's like it's a character, right? And you get to see like him having fun. Then you watch like a Bond movie. And I think it's easy to watch and you go, oh, that's not like a real acting, right?
Yeah.
But then you stop and you go, wait a minute, though, to be the coolest guy in the world for every shot, you're like, that actually is a thing. And you can't look like you're trying to be cool because then you're a fucking dork.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's got to walk cool. He's got to look cool. And it's like, how do you play cool?
Like I said, this was actually an interesting question to ask someone like Matt. For those of you who don't know, Tom's been dabbling in TV and film himself. He's got a new show coming out on Netflix, and he made a documentary about himself last year, as well as a comedy special parody called 69 Minutes with Tom Segura, which bombed almost as hard as Bert's Machine movie. However, when Matt answered the question, instead of just agreeing and moving on, Tom decided to launch an unprovoked attack on the endangered species who populate the comedy mothership green room.
Dude, I think cool comes from just ownership. You know, if it's an actor role, owning my man.
Mm-hmm.
First role I ever did, Wooderson, Dazed and Confused.
Fucking love it.
There's a line written in there, Richard Linklater, one of the original lines. I call it a launch pad line. Those lines that you go, this character means that. There's a book written I could write on that character, right? Wooderson's hanging out in front of the pool hall. High school chicks walk by. He checks him out the backside. His buddy leans in his ear and says, Wooderson, you got to cut that out, man. You're going to end up in jail. He says, no, man, that's what I love about those high school girls, man. I get older, but they stay the same age. I went, who the fuck is that? Now, what if that guy is not saying that line to be cool? What if that guy's, that's not an attitude. He's not trying to make a joke to make Sasha laugh.
Right.
No, what if he's like, I got life figured out, man. This is how the math works.
Yeah.
So it's a life philosophy.
Yeah.
Now that unpacked all kinds of stuff for that guy.
Because it was truth.
Truth. And the guy's saying this truth. I wasn't trying to be cool, but owning
it is what
your life, your politics, whatever it is, what you want, what you can do, what you can't do.
Yeah.
What works for you, what doesn't. Without soliciting, without intruding. Cool doesn't really intrude. Cool doesn't trespass. You know those people you talk to, you're like, man, I love talking to them because they kind of hold their space, man.
Yeah.
You know those people you talk to that are always trying to get in there and solicit and get you're like, be cool, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold your ground, own your shit.
Yeah.
You don't need me to convert to make you cool.
Right. Chill the fuck out.
Right.
Right.
So I think it's ownership. And if I can find that or any performance I see where you see somebody own whoever they are, the nerds are cool.
Right.
When they're like, I'm a nerd, man. I like this shit. That's cool.
Yes.
I don't think dorks are cool. Because dorks.
What's the difference between a nerd and a dork?
All right. Dorks want to say, dorks change their answer for wherever they are to fit the circumstance to do what they think is the cool thing.
You need to come to the comedy mothership green room. There's a bunch of dorks in there.
Okay.
I think you made it real clear.
But I mean,
that's so true.
When do I start drinking tequila?
It's coming up.
No, that's the perfect summary. That's the perfect summary.
It really is.
It's because it becomes about somebody being inauthentic.
Right.
They're pleasing whoever is talking to them. Essentially, you're a dork at that point.
There's absolutely no compass. It's all everything's an affair.
Yeah.
There's no marriage on any sort of POV
Right.
or stance.
You don't have anything.
Where are you coming from?
Yeah.
Tom said and done a lot of stupid shit over the years, but nothing compares to this. The thing is, though, I couldn't agree with him more. I think he's absolutely 100% spot on. Now, obviously, I'm just having a laugh. If you're new here, it might be a little bit hard to detect my sarcasm because I have the personality of a doorknob, but don't be mistaken, Joe Rogan would find this not funny at all. That guy takes his comedy club so seriously that he thinks it's a living organism filled with all the memories of its past. And when it comes to the green room, yeah, that's basically holy ground. It's like Area 51 for the top 250 comedy assassins, a place where the misunderstood genius of comedy brain millionaires is safe, away from the clutches of us civilians who aren't capable of talking shit or just having a laugh with our buddies. We can only dream of experiencing what it's like to be amongst some of the greatest minds in comedy.
In the green room, comedians were talking about how many dicks they've seen in their lifetime, and I remember they were saying like numbers. Bro, I've seen 10. I've seen 16 to 22,000.
For lack of a better term, it's called talking shit, okay? And this is what we do on podcasts. This is what we do in the green room. This is what me and my friends love to do all the time. I like talking to all kinds of people, obviously. But I need comedians in my life like I need vitamins. Like I need a certain amount of sunlight to get some vitamin D. Yeah. I need comedians. It's too, like that night that we had in that green room watching the elections, how many jokes were cracked? How many times we rag on Tony?
Oh, dude.
We talked Tony off the ledge.
We did it.
That's my favorite Joe. When Joe starts drinking in the green room, when Joe starts drinking, nigga, oh, you get going, baby.
We start talking shit.
Oh, it's the best. You start dancing. Oh, bro, it's over.
Who has more fun than us? Who has more fun than us?
Nobody, bro.
We're in there
come on.
dancing. We're dancing like all the time. No self-consciousness. Everybody's just having a good time.
Oh, it's my favorite.
God, it's the best place in the world.
The best thing about the green room is how restrictive it is. You know, that you just can't go in there. You know, you're just not, you got to earn that spot in the treehouse, you know. And so anytime you open the door, you'll see, you know, some of the best comics alive sitting there talking about stand-up comedy and, you know, writing jokes and laughing and having a good time. But, you know, that's our little space, man, and it is the greatest thing on earth.
It's a fun place, man.
Yeah.
A little Disneyland.
Yeah. It also is like a throwback. I'm like, I left Kill Tony on Monday. I was like, I haven't had my shirt smell like cigarettes in a while.
Yeah, all those guys in the green room were smoking cigarettes.
I had one. I don't smoke.
It's
but I was like,
contagious.
I'll have one. What the hell?
What the hell? Yeah, that's a what the hell room.
Music's going,
Yeah.
all the tunes are going, and everybody's going up. It's just, and you're coming in from a set, and you're coming, everybody's already dancing and on, Brian for saying something crazy, and Tony's just roasting him, and you're dying, and you're like, this is the best night of my life, bro.
That green room at the mothership, at any given night, it is just like a full-on show, and we're all howling at each other. Hinchcliffe's cracking on people. Shane Gillis is cracking on people. Ron White chimes in. Brian Simpson dumps on people. It's wild back there. We're having so much fun. Just all laughing at each other. Just all falling down on the ground, slapping tables. Just
dope, man.
It's beautiful.
We're so lucky that all of our friends are the funniest people alive.
Oh, we're so lucky.
That's the best part of stand-up.
We say it all the time in that green room.
Yeah.
We're like, we are so lucky to be here.
Uh-huh.
We're so lucky. Especially when you consider how you first started. The earliest days.
Yeah.
To be here now, it's just bananas.
Yeah, Ron White handing me a cigar will never not lose its charm.
Yeah.
It's always so cool.
Fuck me dead. I don't know about you guys, but for me, editing that supercut of Mothership Green Room Warship actually made me physically sick. I had to take several breaks, and at one point I even considered giving up, but similar to the occupants of the Green Room on any given night, I felt a strong duty to all of you guys watching, and I pushed through. But who knew that it was actually just filled with a bunch of dorks stroking each other's egos and sniffing each other's farts? I mean, imagine the smell in there. All the cigarette and cigar smoke, Tony Hinchcliffe vaping in the corner, mixed with all their comedy brain farts all in one enclosed space. Sounds like the Guantanamo Bay of comedy. So you can see why now I think Tom's life is in danger. He's the first person I've ever heard who's actually spent time in that green room come out and talk shit about it. When you consider Brendan Schaub's retirement from stand-up comedy earlier this year, and now Tom's violent outburst on Two Bears, One Cave, that takes the countdown from 250 to 248. These guys are dropping like flies.
Oh, buddy, you don't know comedy. You don't know comedy. That doesn't work.
You tell him, Bupper. But at the beginning of this video, I also promised you a cringe compilation of Bert Kreischer with Matt McConaughey. And I gotta say, Bert was actually pretty well behaved on this episode. He didn't say much for the first 20 minutes or so, which gave Tom and Matt the chance to discuss the fine art of acting, which you saw earlier. However, there were several points where Bert would chime in, but then get a little bit too excited once he realized how chill and easygoing Matt was. I think Matt was just being polite for the most part, but there were some genuine moments between the two of them. My favorite was when Bert had no idea what the fuck Tom and Matt were talking about, but he was still squealing with laughter. So sit back and relax and enjoy some good old-fashioned podcast cringe slop.
I love that you like getting weird. It's my favorite thing is late night, family's asleep, back to the man cave, bottle of wine, cowboy boots, gloves, Speedos, and listen to music. And just if someone walked in,
you were just doing a Speedo ad out there.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
And how much of your book would you want your son to live through? So as I read it,
good question, man.
Thank you.
So let me tell you this.
I can leave now. When are we going to drink tequila? Keep going.
Did you know that when people watch the trailer for Tiptoes, that they think it's a sketch? Did you know that? That no one thinks it's real?
They think it's a what?
It's an SNL sketch. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I've shown that to so many people, and they're like, when the did SNL do this? I'm like, no, this is real, dude. Did you know?
It wasn't quite real, but it was real.
It was insane. The first time you see it, you're like, what the is happening? Have you seen the trailer?
I have not seen it.
Just play it for 10 seconds.
Wait, what
is it? Here, put the hands on. This is one of the craziest things that I've ever seen, and I've enjoyed it so much.
When I read your book, sometimes when people write books, there are little things that I can't stop noticing. You love ketchup.
I love ketchup. I put ketchup on my ketchup.
And I love ketchup. I only eat meatloaf to eat ketchup.
Right. And it's where the ketchup is. I love ketchup on a burger, but it's best to dip it. So the ketchup's the first thing to hit the palate.
You don't want if you put the ketchup on top of the burger, it falls off the sides.
Right.
You want to dip it so that it's walking. It is the pimp walking the prostitutes into the party.
Yeah. And there's a whole bunch behind him, but he does the intro.
If I'm drinking in the morning at an airport and I don't feel like drinking, but I have to because I got to get on the plane, I'll take ketchup, smear it on my hand, let it dry, and then just slowly that's
Get
it.
down.
Yeah,
like on the flight later?
On the fucking flight.
Just give it a lick?
Just a little, yeah.
Just to have a buddy there.
Just a reminder to have a treat.
Just have a friend right there.
Yeah.
That's good, man.
Fuck, I'm never going to eat ketchup and not think about you.
I don't know. Well, next time I have ketchup, I'm going to not be able to not think about you licking on your hand. That ketchup. That's good, man.
A little K-bump.
I like that. Yeah. Excuse me. Let me take a hit.
Who doesn't like you? I mean, you're like the coolest dude in the world.
Ketchup.
And he loves ketchup, man.
I've been using wasabi pretty liberally lately.
I do too. I like wasabi.
To mix up even with a tuna fish salad. I'm a tuna fish salad master maker.
Really?
Yeah. Every Sunday night, clean out the fridge, mosquito style. Gonna make a badass tuna fish.
So do you
that'll
put?
last through the week.
So explain your tuna fish to me, because my wife's a redneck, and so she has pickled jalapenos, candied jalapenos in her tuna fish.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I want to hear yours.
You add the mayo mixed with wasabi and a little
Oh,
okay.
shut the f up!
Come on.
I didn't even think about putting wasabi into my f***ing tuna fish.
Whip it up, a little light green. Get that in there on the tuna, and because if you put whatever you put on the tuna first is going to soak it up. So
You're blowing my mind right now. You're blowing my mind. It's like the first time someone told me how to figure someone, and I didn't know that you weren't just supposed to stick it in and leave it there. And I go, oh yeah, it would make sense to move it around. You're telling me tuna fish.
It is like
tuna
that.
fish. If I would get high-end tuna, of course I'd put wasabi on it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I put it on my tuna fish?
No, it's a good idea.
Right? So
We this interview up. We
get a
should have been
base.
talking about this the whole time.
To be honest, I actually don't mind this version of Bert. Whenever the conversation got stuck in some boring Hollywood story or the fine art of acting and how it relates to comedy, Bert would jump in with some random one-liner or break the ice by asking a random question. This is why Two Bears needs to have guests on every episode, and the best ones are when they're not comedians. That's when we get to see Bert being a cringy lolcow and Tom getting embarrassed in front of the high-profile guests. Tom is such a fucking phony. I never thought I'd see the day that I was actually grateful that Bert was there. You know, come to think of it, sometimes I wonder to myself, imagine if Bert was here, you know, to walk in with a bottle of champagne and tell us all the machine story again. Anyway, make sure you go and check out the link in the description to my Patreon if you're interested in my longer form uncensored content. While you're here though, hit the subscribe button and make sure you give me a thumbs up if you ended up liking this video. Thanks for watching, I'll catch you in the next one.